China's whitefish market remains tight, with Pacific cod, pollock, and halibut trading at historically elevated levels amid constrained raw material supply. Pacific cod remains firm, with Russian and U.S. longline raw material holding in the high $8,000 to low $9,000 per metric ton range, finished Pacific cod loins steady around $7 per pound, and migas exceeding $10,000 per metric ton as supply remains critically short. Atlantic cod has softened, particularly in smaller fish sizes, with Russian and Norwegian raw material easing into the roughly $10,000 per ton range. Demand remains steady as buyers focus on value over size specifications. Haddock continues to be the weakest whitefish segment, with raw material in the low to mid $8,000 per ton range and comfortable inventories keeping downward pressure on prices. Pollock prices have eased slightly but remain near record highs. Russian raw material continues to trade above $2,000 per metric ton, while U.S. supply remains largely unavailable due to high pricing. Finished fillets are holding around $2 per pound FOB China, and migas exceeds $5,000 per metric ton as tight raw material supply keeps the market supported. The recent pullback is viewed as a temporary correction rather than a fundamental shift. Pacific halibut remains one of the tightest markets, with no new raw material offers reported and the last indications holding around $15.50 per kilogram. Supply continues to dictate pricing. Salmon markets continue to strengthen as new season supply comes online. Russian pink salmon raw material has climbed to around $6,000 per metric ton, with new crop offers near $7.30 per kilogram. U.S. offers range from roughly $2.50 to nearly $3 per pound, with some sellers already testing $2.75. Tightening inventories are driving higher replacement costs. Chum salmon remains firm, supported by limited availability of quality raw material. Meanwhile, sockeye salmon is trending higher as the season begins, with Russian 2s starting around $8 per kilogram and buyers actively seeking early season coverage. Looking beyond whitefish and salmon, China's seafood demand remains a major force in global trade. Chinese buyers accounted for 75% of Argentina's Ilex squid exports during the first 5 months of 2026, while also remaining the largest destination for Argentine shrimp tails and resuming purchases of Patagonian toothfish, underscoring broad demand across both commodity and premium seafood categories. Our recommendation is to secure coverage on Pacific cod, pollock, halibut, pink salmon, and sockeye salmon where possible, as persistent supply constraints are likely to keep pricing firm through the summer. Conversely, buyers may find better value opportunities in Atlantic cod and haddock, where comfortable inventories and softer demand are creating downward pressure on prices, particularly in smaller fish sizes. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to our 3-Minute Market Insight to stay tuned for further updates. Thank you for joining me for the Tradex Foods 3-Minute Market Insight. This has been Ryan, reminding you to buy smart and eat more seafood.